What's good, everybody? Welcome to a new segment of Dynasty Overload called Manny's Breakdowns. I'm going to be breaking down three teams today, and it's going to be real short, straight to the point. Some might take more, some might take less. So let's assess this first team. This is by my guy, FF Tony. It's just fantasy underscore on Twitter. You guys give him a follow. So he has a team that has Kyler Murray and Jared Goff as his quarterbacks. It's not bad. Kyler Murray, when healthy, is a top quarterback in this league. Jared Goff, he's a guy that could have another good season. And then guess what? The Lions might say, hey, come on back. They might even extend this guy when it's time to pay him. I think he's solid. He might not be the best quarterback, but he fits that system and he fits that offense. I like Jared Goff there. Now, James Conner, he has a chance to be the starter this year and possibly be productive behind a rookie and maybe coming in. So he's a guy that has some value, but you definitely need to upgrade James Conner. We're going to talk about what we need to do to upgrade James Conner shortly. Now, you have Kenneth Walker. Excellent find there. Stephon Diggs and Garrett Wilson is a great mixture of old and young. Then this being a two tight end league, you have Mark Andrews and Robert Tonyan. Robert Tonyan is the piece that you need to upgrade. He could be serviceable, especially in a two tight end league, which is tough. Then you have Kareem Hunt. You have Juju Smith-Schuster, Dalvin Cook. So the problem with Dalvin Cook is that he might be out of Minnesota this year. This might be his last year. So you want to start to look into the future on how can you improve on Dalvin Cook. Maybe you sell him now to possibly get a pick. Kareem Hunt, wherever he goes, he's going to be solid in PPR. He's definitely flex play. Juju Smith-Schuster in that offense in New England, he's going to get lots of targets and he's going to get lots of PPR type value. Now, with only having the 208 and the 311, how can you possibly improve this team? It's simple. At the 208, you draft the best available running back. There's going to be guys like Tank Bigsby there. There's going to be guys like Zach Evans, Kendre Miller, possibly. And then this being a two tight end league, you're going to see many tight ends go within these first two rounds. So as tight ends go, it's going to drive value down. So you can get a nice running back, possibly maybe a Izzy. Is available from Pitt. Tajay Spears, maybe if you're lucky. So you will be able to get some kind of running back at 208. Go best available. So that way you can add that guy to your group of James Conner, Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook. Now at 311, this being a two tight end league, there's going to be tight ends all through this draft. This is super deep tight end class. Guys from Miami, Penn State, Dalton Kincaid, Luke Musgrave, one of my favorites is Sam Laporta, so he might be available as well at 311. So grab me the best available tight end. Look at the situation. Scope out the landscape. Whoever that Washington grabs is going to be a hot commodity. So kind of look at some of these older tight ends and then these younger guys coming in. They could possibly come in and be the guy moving forward. Now, the next team I want to dissect, let me go ahead and share my screen for that. Sorry, give me 1 second. It's interesting when you're breaking down stuff like this and you're trying to move on the fly. So here's this team that's on Twitter. I'm going to let me see how it's showing up for you guys. I want to make sure, yes, you guys can see it. I've zoomed in on it. I'm going to enjoy this breakdown. So he has Russell Wilson, Christian McCaffrey, Austin Eckler, A.J. Brown, Devontae Adams, Dallas Goedert, DK Metcalf. I love the core. It's a nice core between old and young. It's good to have A.J. Brown. He's the younger guy. So you can tell this is a win-now roster. And there's nothing wrong with that. When you're in win-now mode, you got to go get it. Now, he has an IDP spot, just one IDP spot, has a kicker. Nobody cares about the kicker. Now, this being a one quarterback league, I'm guessing this might be maybe possibly 14, 16-man type league based off of how the roster is constructed. But Matthew Stafford is a solid guy behind Russell Wilson. You have Trey Lance and Sam Howell, two guys that are young that you can possibly that could possibly become something. And they hold value, especially if it's a 16-man or 14-man where it's one quarterback, but you're always going to need another quarterback. So it's good to kind of have young guys in the pipeline. Also, Mike White, insurance to Tua Tagovailoa. I love it. Excellent find there. I love the situation this year for David Montgomery. He's there with DeAndre Swift, who I don't trust so much. So I expect David Montgomery to get much love this year. I mean, when you have a Christian McCaffrey and Austin Eckler, you're not going to need much out of David Montgomery, but he's good insurance to have just in case one of those two guys go down. Dearness Johnson is a guy that could be something in Jacksonville if he's able to beat out Hasty. So we don't know what happens there. DJ Dallas, you can drop unless this is a deep league. You have Kenneth Walker, amazing. This is an amazing roster so far. Jarvis Landry, you can go ahead and drop him. He has no more value. Brandon Cooks, Amari Cooper, I love those two. As a package, I think that both guys are going to give you wide receiver 2 appeal this year. Hodges is a great stash. Devontae Parker, it might be time to move on from him. Tanyan Hayden Hurst. These are two guys that could possibly do something. I like Hayden Hurst a lot, but Tanyan, I'm out on him going to Chicago, run first team and playing behind a guy like Cole Kmet. Chig, I love Chig a lot. Chig has a chance to be the number 1 tight end for the Titans this year if they don't sign anybody else or draft anybody else. I love the taxi. I love the stash of Jelani Woods. I think he's going to end up being one of the better tight ends in the league. Now, looking at your 23 picks, you have the 106, you have the 406, and the 407. What can you really do in this draft? At the 106, you got to go best available. You might get lucky, even in the 1 quarterback league, that JSN falls to 106. You're going to go position player. There's no need getting a quarterback there, right? So potentially in a 1 quarterback league, you're going to have guys like Bijan Robinson and Gibbs go 1 and 2, right? You're going to have guys like JSN, Addison, Quentin Johnston. For those that are in on him, I'm more out than in on him. I love Zach Charbonnet. He might be available for you at 6. So at 6, get the best available talent there. And if you want to sell the pick for a ransom, maybe somebody is offering you $224 first, you do that. So 106 is a perfect spot to be even in a 1 quarterback league. And then at 406 and 407, the best talent available is most likely going to be tight ends. And it's okay, even though this is a 1 tight end league and you can flex another, there's nothing wrong with grabbing 2 tight ends who could possibly be something in the 4th round, and you just stash those guys on your taxi. Maybe you grab a tight end that you like, or you grab one of these handcuff type running backs. So if it's a running back that's coming in, let's say, for example, the Minnesota Vikings, right? You have Dalvin Cook. He's about to go. You have Madison. He might be the guy. Whoever that the Vikings draft might be a guy that you want to go ahead and grab at the 407 or 406 and just stash that guy just in case Dalvin Cook ends up leaving this year. Then you have a guy who slots into that 2nd spot. I did the same thing with Jerome Ford in a lot of spots last year. And look at it today. Jerome Ford is currently the Browns' number 2 running back on that squad. So I'm going to stop sharing for now, and I have one more team to go over, and I'm excited for this next one that I'm about to do, honestly. So let me go ahead and make this smaller. Let me go ahead and find this last team. And like I said, I'll be doing more and more of these breakdowns, and these breakdowns will definitely be a part of Dynasty Overload's segments and podcasts moving forward. So I'm going to find this last breakdown, and we're going to have fun with this one. Give me a moment to find it. When I put this out on Twitter, I had several people saying, hey, Manny, I want you to break down my team. I want you to break down my team. So that's what I decided to do. And so far, so good. I've been having fun with this thing. And we're going to continue to keep this thing going. I'm so sorry, guys. You guys bear with me. All right. So here is the next breakdown here. Let's go ahead and share the screen and knock down this last breakdown, and then we'll go ahead and end this thing. All right, so this next guy, his name is John Geizes, and he says, if you're doing that, want to do mine as well. He says, my team is mediocre with trash running backs, no depth at quarterback, but top 2 quarterback are 10-ish. He also says, his quarterbacks have no depth. I'm sorry, he has no depth at quarterback. And he has 2 top 10-ish wide receivers, no top tight end. And first 5 picks this year. So when you're looking at a team that is mediocre, number 1, that means you are a rebuild. That means that you most likely tanked, right? So if you most likely tank and you have no quarterback depth whatsoever, that means you have to prioritize quarterback. Now, you also have to go best available. So if I'm this guy having two top 10 wide receivers, we're going to leave the wide receivers alone until later on in the rookie draft. He does have a top tight end, so that's something to kind of work with. So what we're going to do here is we're going to target quarterback and we're going to target running back. So at 101, obviously you want to go ahead and draft you a Bijan Robinson at the 101. At the 102, you want to go ahead and grab C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young, or Anthony Richardson, whichever quarterback you believe in most. From me, I'm going C.J. Stroud every single time. So give me C.J. Stroud at the 102. Now at the 104, this is where it gets interesting. You have another choice to get another quarterback. If Bryce Young is there at 104, you grab a Bryce Young. If you like Anthony Richardson at 104, so you can go quarterback at 2 and 4 with Bijan Robinson at 1. But what I would do at 4, I'm grabbing JSN. If he's available, give me JSN. He has a chance to be that next Jamar Chase, that next Justin Jefferson type guy. So you grab him at 104, and then now possibly in the future you can have 3 top 10-ish wide receivers, right? So you have your top running back, who's going to be a dynasty running back. You have possibly the top wide quarterback. And then now you grab you something nice at 4. At 8, since you don't have running backs, a guy like Zach Charbonnet could be there at 8. You grab that talent. If not, you can grab you a guy like a Jordan Addison. Maybe a Will Levis falls to 8. So you have options here. You need to come out of this draft with 2 quarterbacks in the first round, 2 running backs, or 2 running backs and a receiver, or 2 receivers and a running back. So you have to come out with 2 quarterbacks and 3 skilled position players, with 1 being Bijan Robinson. So you have a solid foundation moving forward. Now, you have 4 picks in the second round. You have the 1, the 7, the 9, and the 10. This is what you do. At the 201, you want to grab the top running back there. You can grab you a Devin Achane. You can grab you a guy like a Kendre Miller. Just all about the flavor of guy that you want. Maybe you want to grab you a Zay Flowers. That's a possibility. Or you want to grab you a Josh Downs. That's a possibility. At 7, 9, and 10, best available in the third round, what I would do is grab the top tight end available there, just to kind of solidify your tight end group, whether it's tight end premium or not. Or maybe you just grab another running back. This is a running back draft, so you should be able to come out of the second round with 3 more running backs and a receiver. And then at 301, you want to grab best available talent. It could possibly be another running back. So you are in good shape to kind of start to rebuild this team. In the fourth, and then you said you also have 4 firsts in 24 and 4 seconds in 24. It's a great building block. Keep building this team. Maybe next year you fight for Caleb Williams and a Marvin Harrison Jr. Solid assets that you have. And you can even sell some of your seconds for future 24 firsts. There's going to be guys thirsty for that 201. You can possibly grab another 24 first. So, guys, this has been another segment of Manny's Breakdowns. I'll be doing more of these. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll catch you guys on that next segment. I'm out. Peace.